The hardest roads often look impossible. They are steep. They are lonely. They are filled with obstacles that make you want to turn back. But here is the truth. The hardest roads are the ones that lead to the most beautiful destinations. When you are walking on an easy path, you may feel comfortable, but you will not grow. When you take the difficult road, the one that tests your patience, your courage, and your strength, that is when you discover who you really are. It is on those roads that character is forged. It is on those roads that resilience is born. And it is on those roads that the reward waiting at the end is greater than you ever imagined. So if the path in front of you feels heavy, if every step feels uphill, do not despise it. Do not abandon it. Because the very road that hurts you today may lead you to the destination that transforms your life. Let us begin with Malala Yousafzai. She was just a young girl in Pakistan who wanted the simple right to go to school. But extremists tried to silence her. At the age of 15, she was attacked and left for dead. Most would have given up. Most would have chosen silence. But Malala kept speaking. She kept walking the hardest road. That road took her from fear to courage, from pain to purpose. Today, she is the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate, a voice for millions of girls around the world. Her destination was not only her own freedom, but the hope of education for others. Now think of Ludwig van Beethoven. He was one of the greatest composers of all time. Yet in his late 20s, he began to lose his hearing. For a musician, this was the cruelest fate. The road became unbearably hard. He could no longer hear the music he was creating, but Beethoven did not stop. He kept writing. He kept fighting. And in the silence of his world, he composed some of the most beautiful symphonies ever written. His hardest road became the path to timeless art that still inspires us centuries later. And then there is Ernest Shackleton. In 1914, he led an expedition to Antarctica. But disaster struck. His ship, the Endurance, was trapped and crushed by ice. He and his men were stranded on the frozen sea for months. Hunger, cold, and despair surrounded them. Yet Shackleton refused to give up. He led his crew across impossible distances, through storms and glaciers, until every single one of them survived. That brutal road became one of the greatest stories of leadership and perseverance in history. Malala, Beethoven, Shackleton. 3 very different lives, 3 different battles. Yet each proves the same truth. The hardest roads carry the seeds of the most beautiful destinations. So what do these stories mean for you? They mean that the hard road you are walking is not a curse. It is a preparation. The mountain feels steep because it is building your strength. The storm feels endless because it is deepening your roots. The loneliness feels heavy because it is shaping your character in silence. Easy roads do not build great lives. They keep you comfortable, but they also keep you small. Hard roads break you, but then they rebuild you stronger. Think of Malala, who turned violence into a mission. Think of Beethoven, who turned silence into music. Think of Shackleton, who turned despair into survival. Each of them walked a path that looked impossible, but the very weight of that path created the power of their destination. So when you feel tired, when you wonder if the struggle is worth it, remember this. The beauty is not in spite of the hard road. The beauty is because of the hard road. Do not turn back. Do not give up. The destination you seek may be just beyond the climb you fear. Think about Frida Kahlo. As a young woman, she suffered a terrible accident that left her in pain for the rest of her life. Her body was fragile. Her days were filled with suffering. But through that pain, she found art. She painted her wounds, her struggles, her soul, and her work became timeless, giving voice to millions who also lived with pain. Her hardest road gave birth to beauty that continues to move the world. Now remember Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, nearly 3 decades of silence, walls and chains. Most people would have surrendered to bitterness. But Mandela chose forgiveness. He chose vision. And when freedom came, he was ready to lead his nation with wisdom. The prison road was long, but it led to the destination of justice and reconciliation for South Africa. And then there is Wilma Rudolph. As a child, she was struck with polio. Doctors said she would never walk again, but she refused to believe that. She trained, she fought, she endured. Not only did she walk again, she ran. She ran faster than anyone thought possible. At the 1960 Olympics, Wilma Rudolph became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field. Her hardest road as a sick little girl became the path to becoming the fastest woman in the world. Frida, Mandela, Wilma, different lives, different battles. But each shows us this: the hardest roads are often the ones that lead to the most beautiful destinations. So how should you face the hardest road in your own life? First, stop asking why the road is difficult. Start asking what the road is building inside you. The challenge is not there to punish you, it is there to prepare you. Second, shift your focus from comfort to growth. Easy paths may feel safe, but they rarely lead to greatness. Growth always demands resistance. Progress always demands struggle. Third, choose to walk with patience. The destination may not appear quickly, but every step you take, even the painful ones, is bringing you closer. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The air gets thinner. The climb gets harder. But when you finally reach the peak, the view makes every step worth it. Your hardest road is shaping your deepest strength. Your darkest night is preparing your brightest morning. So instead of turning back, whisper to yourself, "This is not the end. This is the road to my most beautiful destination." Hold on. Keep walking, because the struggle you endure today is carving the path toward the life you dream of tomorrow. So yes, the road is hard. It is steep. It is filled with obstacles that test your patience and shake your spirit. But the hardest roads are the ones worth walking, because they do not just lead you to a destination, they transform you along the way. One day you will look back and see that the climb that almost broke you was the climb that revealed your strength. The storm that almost drowned you was the storm that taught you how to endure. The loneliness that felt unbearable was the silence that made you unshakable. Remember Malala, who turned wounds into courage. Remember Beethoven, who turned silence into music. Remember Shackleton, who turned despair into survival. Remember Frida, Mandela, Wilma, and countless others who proved that beauty is born from struggle. Their paths were never easy, but their destinations were unforgettable. So when you feel tired, when your steps feel heavy, when the road feels endless, whisper this to yourself: I will not turn back. This road is shaping me, and it is leading me somewhere beautiful. Keep walking, keep fighting, keep believing. The hardest road you are on today may lead you to the most beautiful destination of your life. Before you leave, I want you to do 3 things. Share this video with someone who is walking a hard road right now. Comment below and tell me what destination your struggle is leading you toward. And subscribe to Undefeatable for daily motivation that reminds you no matter how hard the road becomes, you are not broken, you are becoming stronger, and you are undefeatable.